Hey, what's up, guys? Combat Critic here. In this video, I want to give my pick for this upcoming fight between Brendan Allen and Bruno Silva. So let's get started. Now let's take a look at the records of these two fighters, starting with Brendan Allen. So Brendan has in total 26 fights and he has won 21 of his 26 fights, lost just 5. If we talk about his 21 wins, he's won 5 fights via knockout, 12 via submission. So he is really a submission expert, and he has also won 4 fights via decision. If we talk about his 5 losses, he's been knocked out twice and submitted just once, and he has also 2 losses via decision. Now let's talk about Bruno Silva. So Bruno Silva has 31 fights. He's won 23 and lost 8. If we talk about his 23 wins, so 20 of those 23 wins have come via knockout. So he is the opposite of Brendan Allen. He is a knockout artist, and he's never won a fight via submission, and he has won 3 fights via decision. If we talk about his 8 losses, he has been submitted 6 times, and this is the area where Brendan Allen will be looking to capitalize. He has also lost once via decision and once via disqualification. So this is a good matchup between a guy who is a grappler and a guy who is a striker. Now let's take a look at the physical stats and the career stats of these two guys. Starting with the height, it is 6 feet 2 inches for Brendan Allen and it is 6 feet for Bruno Silva. So Brendan Allen will have a 2-inch height advantage. Weight is even at 185 pounds for both these guys unless somebody misses weight. Reach is 75 inches for Brendan Allen and it is 74 inches for Bruno Silva. So a slight 1-inch reach advantage goes to Brendan Allen. Stance is orthodox for both these fighters. And if we talk about the age, so Brendan is the younger fighter. Bruno Silva is about 6 years older. I believe Bruno Silva is in his mid 30s and Brendan has yet to hit his 30s. He is still a young fighter and is not in his prime yet. Now let's talk about the career statistics. Starting with the striking numbers. First up, we have the strikes landed per minute. So this signifies the number of significant strikes that you land on your opponent per minute on average. This is 3.85 for Brendan Allen and it is 4.47 for Bruno Silva. So we know Bruno Silva is a striker, so he has an advantage here. He is landing a lot more strikes on his opponents per minute. Now let's talk about the striking accuracy. It is 53% for Brendan Allen and it is 47% for Bruno Silva. So a slight advantage here actually goes to Brendan Allen. He is more accurate with his strikes. Next up, we have the strikes absorbed per minute. So this is the opposite of strikes landed per minute, and this signifies the number of significant strikes that you absorb from your opponent per minute on average. This is 3.87 for Brendan Allen and it is 4.55 for Bruno Silva. So in this case, you want this number to be as low as possible because you are getting hit less. So here the advantage goes to Brendan Allen. Striking defense is 46% for Brendan Allen and it is 48% for Bruno Silva. So both these guys are pretty even, but a very slight advantage goes to Bruno Silva. So overall in the striking, it is pretty mixed up. What separates Bruno Silva is the knockout power. He has 20 knockouts on his record. So he has the power advantage. However, if we talk about the striking accuracy and the fact that Brendan Allen does not get hit a lot, those two things favor him. So it's not like Bruno Silva is clearly the better striker. There are some areas where Brendan Allen is actually better in striking. Now let's talk about the wrestling, grappling, and BJJ statistics. Starting with the takedown average. So takedown average is 1.27 for Brendan Allen and it is 0.61 for Bruno Silva. So Brendan Allen's takedown defense is almost twice that of Bruno Silva. He will have an advantage here. Takedown accuracy is 47% for Brendan Allen and it is just 18% for Bruno Silva. So again, the clear advantage goes to Brendan Allen. Takedown defense is 55% for Brendan Allen, and keep in mind that he is a submission expert, so he is usually not defending takedowns and he wants you to take him down so that he can use his BJJ. And if you talk about the takedown defense of Bruno Silva, it is 71%, and this 71% will definitely be tested in this fight by Brendan Allen. So the takedown defense advantage goes to Bruno Silva. Now we have the submission average. This is 1.6 for Brendan Allen, which is really high, and this is 0 for Bruno Silva. So we know the clear BJJ expert in this fight is Brendan Allen, and he will have an advantage in this department. Now let's talk about the significant strikes by position. If we look at Brendan Allen, so 76% of all his strikes are in the standing position, 7% in the clinch, and 17% on the ground. If we talk about Bruno Silva, so 74% in the standing position, 11% in the clinch, and 15% on the ground. So pretty similar for both these guys. Now let's talk about the significant strikes by target. So 59% of all the strikes that Brendan throws are to the head, 25% to the body, and another 15% to the leg. If we talk about Bruno Silva, 71% to the head, 19% to the body, and 10% to the leg. So again, these stats are pretty even for both these guys. However, the main thing is Bruno Silva is almost always head hunting. He's not using a lot of leg kicks. He's not going to the body. Whereas Brendan Allen is mixing it up. He is going to the head, he is going to the body, and he's also going to the leg. Now let's talk about some of the previous performances of these two guys. Starting with Brendan Allen, in his last fight, he finished Andre Muniz via submission rear naked choke, and this happened in February of this year in the third round. So he is not taking a lot of time off, and he is quickly turning back to fight once again. And before that, he beat Jotko via submission rear naked choke. This fight happened in October of last year, and this stoppage came in the first round itself. Before that, he beat Jacob Malkoun via unanimous decision in a 3-round fight. Before that, he beat Sam Alvey via rear naked choke. And all these fights were last year fights, and this stoppage came in the second round. Before that, he was TKO'd by Chris Curtis in the second round. This fight happened in December of 2021. Before that, he beat Soriano via unanimous decision, and this fight happened in 2021. It was a 3-round fight. Before that, he beat Carl Robertson via submission ankle lock in the first round itself, and before that, he was beat by the best friend of Chris Curtis, which is Sean Strickland, via TKO in the second round. Before that, he beat Kyle Daukaus unanimous decision in a 3-round fight. He beat Tom Breeze via TKO in the first round itself, and here he has also beaten Kevin Holland back in 2019. This was the year before Kevin Holland won 5 times in a year. That was in 2020. This fight happened in 2019. So Brendan Allen beat Kevin Holland via submission rear naked choke in the second round. So a lot of good names on his record, a lot of tough fighters that he has won against. And let's talk about Bruno Silva now. So in his last fight, he beat Brad Tavares via TKO in the first round itself. This fight happened in April of this year. So just like Brendan Allen, Bruno Silva is also not taking any time off, and he is quickly turning back to fight once again this year. And before that, he was finished by Gerard Meerschaert in the third round, and this was a clear-cut dominant performance by Gerard. I don't think a lot of people were picking Bruno to win this fight, but Gerard shocked the world and he dominated, won the first 2 rounds, and in the third round he finished Bruno Silva via guillotine choke. And I think if Gerard can do it, Brendan Allen can definitely do it. Before that, he lost to Alex Pereira. This was a unanimous decision, and this is the only guy in the UFC that faced Alex Pereira without getting finished. And Izzy has faced Alex Pereira and he has won, but he has also been finished by Alex. And this fight shows that Bruno Silva has a chin on him, and it's really hard to finish him. As we have seen on his record, he has lost no fights via knockouts. He has a good chin. This fight happened in March of last year. Before that, he beat Jordan Wright via TKO punches in the first round, Andrew Sanchez via TKO punches in the third round, Wellington Turman knockout in the first round, and before that he was outside of the UFC. So he has just 6 fights in the UFC, significantly lesser UFC experience than Brendan Allen. And before that he was in M1 where he beat Artem via TKO in the fourth round and Alexander Smelenko via knockout in the first round. So overall, if I have to pick a winner of this fight, I'll have to go with Brendan Allen. I think he is the better grappler, and if he gets Bruno Silva to the ground, Bruno Silva has been submitted 6 times in his UFC career. Also, if Gerard Michaud can dominate you for 2 rounds and get a finish, I think Brendan Allen can also do it. Brendan has more UFC octagon experience than Bruno Silva. For these reasons, I am picking him to win this fight. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video.